Hey, welcome back everyone to another Webcast Wednesday. My name is Dylan Ivey, the Louisiana SADD State Coordinator. And as some of you may know, the National Road Safety Foundation is a super supporter of SADD and is our featured sponsor of the Super Safe Summer Series, which has been going on for the 100 Deadliest Days of Summer. Each year, the foundation partners with SADD to create a public service announcement that is completely designed and created by students. This contest is exclusive to SADD members and chapters across the country. The first task of the students is to come up with a PSA idea that matches the determined traffic safety theme for that year's contest. And each year, a new theme is picked that highlights a new important driving skill. 2 years ago, the theme was Dangers in the Dark, and a group from Livingston Parish, Louisiana, had the idea to incorporate superheroes into their nighttime driving themed PSA. It was very simple. One student filmed themselves explaining what their PSA would look like if they were to win, and guess what? They won. And their PSA was chosen, and with the help of the National Road Safety Foundation, their Emmy-winning production crew brought this group's idea to life. And I actually had the pleasure of seeing this opportunity unfold for these students. And even, it was wonderful to see the producers fly down from New York City to work with them over a period of 2 days to produce this 60-second PSA. Their voice was heard, their input was valued, and their dream came to life. And here to talk to us today is two of those students who worked together to educate their peers on the dangers of driving in the dark. Please join me in welcoming Grace Stevens and Seth Bowden from Denham Springs, Louisiana.
Hi.
Hello.
Let's start by both having you two introduce yourself. So if you would, just, we'll start with Grace. Just tell us a little bit about your involvement with SADD, why you joined, maybe what you enjoyed the most. We know that you're alumni now, so go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you're doing after high school.
So like Dylan said, my name is Grace. I got involved with SADD my sophomore year. I joined our chapter that we had at our high school, and I just pretty much fell in love with all of the ideals and the concepts that SADD really just because of things that I've seen with the dangers of drinking, alcohol, substance abuse, all that stuff. And I just found a real passion for it, and I found a passion for sharing that with others. So.
And tell us where you go to school now, Grace.
So I am at Southeastern. I am an education major. I've got about 2 years. So it's crazy. I'm currently helping out with Tangipahoa Parish SADD and their college advisory stuff. We're trying to implement that in the areas in the schools in the area. So
awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. And Seth?
Hi, I'm Seth. I got involved with SADD my sophomore year of high school, in high school as well, just because of the ideals. And then I stuck around because of the people. There's a really good community there and very supportive. And I went and worked my way through the program. I eventually became SADD Student of the Year my senior year of high school. And I'm in love with the organization and anything I can do to help out with it. So that's my thing with that. And then afterwards, after I graduated high school, went ahead and joined the National Guard. So I do that part-time, and I'm going to Southeastern right now as a business major.
Awesome. Very good. Well, thank you both so much for being with us today. It's great to see you two on camera again. I know it's been a long time since we've gotten to see each other. So thank you for being here. Really, really appreciate it. So we're actually going to start off by showing the submission video. And so basically the idea is that somebody that's watching this Webcast Wednesday, that maybe has never applied or entered the Driving Skills 101 contest would kind of get a little inspired from what they're going to hear today to do that. Once they release the theme and the contest, which usually comes out sometime in October, I believe, sometime, in the fall semester. So we're actually going to show the submission video that this group sent in, and it was actually Grace who sent in that video. So we're going to get to see that in just a minute.
Hi, my name is Grace Stevens, and I'm with the Livingston Parish SADD Student Leadership Council. We have come up with an idea for your driving skills 101 contest. If selected, our PSA will focus on the fact that although we are not superheroes, we all have a duty to be heroic on the road. We will use a superhero theme that is free from copyrights, making our PSA very creative. In our PSA, we will talk about 4 main tips for safe driving at night. Unlike superheroes, we don't have X-ray vision. However, we do have the ability to use our lights when driving on the road. So tip number 1 is always use your lights and make sure they are cleaned up when driving at night. Tip number 2, because we can't fly where we need to go, we always need to be aware of bicyclists and pedestrians who might be out at night. Tip number 3, superheroes don't need sleep, but we do. Teen drivers who sleep less than 8 hours per night are 1/3 more likely to crash than those who sleep 8 hours or more. Drowsy driving is definitely not heroic behavior. And the last but not least tip, number 4. Just like superheroes never leave the house without their gear, we should never get in a car without ours. It's our job to buckle up in every seat, in every car, every time. If selected, we will highlight these 4 tips for driving in the dark and appreciate you for considering our PSA.
So that's it. That is what a submission video would look like. It's very simple. And I think what's so different about this contest, which is a really great idea on SADD and the National Road Safety Foundation's part, is that it really doesn't make you go through all of the work of having to put the PSA together. The beauty of it is that you're just explaining to the selection committee what you would do if you were to win this contest, which usually you can do in about 60 seconds or less sometimes. And so you're just explaining what your idea would be if you were chosen. And then the beauty of the contest is that you're getting the opportunity to work with these producers that are going to fly in to meet with your chapter to make this dream come to life. So I'm going to pass it to Lauren.
Hi guys. So maybe you could kind of embellish on that a little bit more and tell us how you came up with this idea or what the thought process was like or what kind of conversations you had in your group to incorporate like all these themes and the superhero topics and the tips. Like, how did that look?
So it was really crazy how it happened. It happened so suddenly. Me and Dylan were, me and Dylan were in the SADD office one day, and I was just looking around, like I was trying to research things on my phone, and nothing was like really clicking. And then I was looking on our wall, and Dylan has these superhero pictures on the wall, and I was just like, light bulb moment. It just kind of clicked, and I was like, why don't we use this? Like, it's something that people of all ages can relate to, and it's something that could really connect us, and we can make that topic relatable.
Okay, so now we are going to show the finished product of the winning PSA, Dangers in the Dark.
Superheroes have X-ray vision.
We don't. So when driving at night, always use your headlights so you can see things like bike riders and pedestrians.
Superheroes can jump over obstacles in a single bound.
We can't, so be aware of dangerous situations.
Superheroes don't need sleep.
But we do. In fact, teens are 30% more likely to get into a crash if they're driving on less than 8 hours of sleep.
Superheroes never go on a mission without their gear.
And we should never drive without our seatbelts. That goes for passengers too.
But just like superheroes,
We have the power to save lives by staying alert and driving safely.
you don't need superpowers.
To be a super driver.
I absolutely love that. I have to tell you both that I am a huge fan. My name is Carrie Ferguson. I'm the Colorado State Coordinator, and I show your video to everybody that I run into. So fantastic job. Thank you so much. Everything you guys have done there. My question, Seth, is for you. What was it like to work with a group of New York City Emmy Award-winning producers? And tell us about your role in the PSA. I think I saw you in a driver's seat, or maybe even changing a tire or something there. Tell us a little bit about that.
Right. So I'm not gonna lie. At first, I heard they were like Emmy Award-winning producers, so I was kind of nervous. But when they first came, but everything was so streamlined. Like they were really professional. They were nice. They knew what they were doing. And my role, I was driving the car at night. That's what I was doing in the video. But everything happened like that, really, really quick. But it was stress-free at the same time. But we actually went to a lunch with them afterwards, and they explained, you know, why they did what they did and how they did what they did. They wanted us involved in the process just as much as knowing what was going on. So it was really professional. I think that's how I would describe it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Teresa. I'm from Ohio SADD, and my question is for Grace. We heard what Seth thought. So what was your, perception of this whole process? And did you get any chance to sit down and talk with these producers one-on-one?
Yeah, so it's a really, like Seth said, everything happened so quickly. Like, first off, I can't even believe that we won. Like, I submitted that video and I was like, like maybe there's a chance, but I never would have thought that we could win the contest. So it was just crazy. But like Seth said, like the producers were so nice. They were very professional, but they also knew like how to have fun at the same time. We were able to sit down and just kind of like overview the concept and everything and just kind of made sure we were on the same page. But they were still giving their input and their thoughts on things, which I thought was great.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. So I'm actually going to kick this to Dylan. We've been working really hard on a lot of our Super Safe Summer graphics, and I know that graphics is like a passion project for some of us, and others are not so in love with it. Can you tell us a little bit about the graphics and how all of this was created and brought to life in this super theme?
Yeah, so I think the coolest thing about this PSA, and especially if you're using it in your states, one thing that you can tell your people that you're presenting to your audience is that all of the graphics that you see in the PSA were hand drawn by a student that in this group. And so she used her iPad to draw all of those graphics. Her name was Elise Drennan, and she's actually in an art school, I believe. Grace, do you know where she's going to school now?
Yeah, she goes to the Savannah College of Art and Design in Georgia.
Very good. Very good. Thank you for that. And so extremely, extremely talented young woman. And she put all of this hard work into designing these graphics and these people, you know, and she did it all by hand. I mean, the whole NRSF hero guy that you see, all of that was her idea. And it's just so cool to see her in action doing all of that. And she made it into comic strips. And then they took those graphics and put them into the PSA. So everything was completely drawn by hand by her. I mean, it's just the coolest thing to think about. It wasn't, you know, computer made by computer. It was actually drawn by hand. So I think that's just the coolest thing.
I'm super jealous of that feeling.
Yeah, that's like, I was already impressed with the video, but now knowing that it was drawn by hand by one of the students, I'm like blown away. That's amazing. So I'm Michelle. I'm the state coordinator in Arizona. And Grace, I have a question for you. How did you feel when you were at the national conference in Washington, D.C., and your PSA was announced as the winner and was shown for the first time?
It was like just a surreal experience. I never like I said earlier, like I never would have thought that we could win. And that was pretty much our first time seeing it too. So just like seeing all of the hard work that everybody put into it, from Elise doing the drawings to everybody showing up and willing to help out in whatever way they could. And then just seeing everybody's reaction to it and how positive the feedback was, it made all the hard work and the long hours we spent filming and all the hard work the producers did, it made it all worth it.
And Seth, now we're going to ask you a quick question. So I know from me being there, just kind of in the background, just kind of watching and seeing what all was going on over the course of those 2 days that we were filming, I learned a lot about video production and how much time it takes to really the work that goes into filming. And we were only filming something that was 60 seconds, and a lot of the PSA was the graphics. So really, when you look at how much face camera time we had, it really wasn't quite that much, but it was literally 2 days of filming because they had a lot of editing that they had to do. And so for me, that was one thing I learned. What about you? Like what insight did you learn from the filming, the production, and maybe about like messaging, how to really deliver a really good message in such a short amount of time?
I think the word that comes to mind for me is particular. Like everything has to be done a certain way, whether that's the lighting, because I remember we had to wait for a certain time to even film, so the light would hit our faces right. And then when we got into the cars, what you don't see on the video there is that we had like spotlights in the cars pointed a certain way. And as far as like the speaking itself, it's got to be clearly. And all that. So everything has to be like precise and particular. I think that's the thing that came to mind for me.
That's amazing. What a experience for anybody. And I'm so glad that you guys got the chance to have this experience. My last question is for both of you. What advice would you give to chapters who might be considering entering the Driving Skills 101 test this fall?
I guess I'll go first. I think the advice I would probably give would just be like to never think too simple or just looked at like, oh, hey, there's my idea. But then also like just making sure that everybody's working, keeping a positive attitude about it. It's really stressful. Like what you're doing it for and like the to others. I think that's
cool. Yeah, for me, it would be, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So whether or not you think it's going to be a nationally good idea or not, it just might be that one. I mean, it was for us. And I'd also say, don't be afraid to get a lot of people involved, because whether the part may seem small or not, like for me, I was just driving that car for that little bit, and here I am sitting talking to y'all. So, it's important to get a lot of people involved because that builds community with the program as well. So.
Mm-hmm.
So true.
Absolutely. Well,
thank you.
Y'all are just the best. Thank y'all so much for tuning in and being a part of this. I mean, y'all really are, a product of what SADD develops and the leadership skills that you can really gain from quality programming. And I'm just so thankful to know each one of you, and thankful that you've been here and been a part of SADD and being on our little call today. And so thank you so much, Seth, for your service.
No problem.
And all the great work that you're going to do and continue to do. And Grace, I can't wait to see you in the classroom one day. Maybe you'll be teaching my kids.
Oh, goodness. I hope so.
But everyone that's watching, thank you so much for tuning in to Webcast Wednesday. And again, we just appreciate you tuning in. And thank you so much. We hope that you will stay tuned and be on the lookout on all SADD's platforms for when we do release the new contest, the deadline, the theme, the details. It may look a little different because we're in this new world that we're doing things. And continue to engage with us on social media during the 100 Deadliest Days for our Super Safe Summer Series. So thank you to everyone and have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Guys.